And Victoria's aerial firefighting fleet has been boosted to 51 aircraft ahead of the upcoming bushfire season. Reporter Bridget MacArthur has the details from Melbourne.
Well, if we have that firefighting fleet when and where it's needed, it will play a key role in early intervention through firebombing. So that's dropping large amounts of water on those fire-affected areas, as well as information gathering this bushfire season, which we know has started worryingly early last week in eastern Victoria. It claimed at least one home and burned thousands of hectares. And there had been concerns from the firefighters union saying that the aerial fleet here in Victoria wasn't up to scratch, isn't ready for the bushfire season. So today's figures from Emergency Management Victoria could go some way to calming some nerves in the state. They've said that there will be 51 aircraft made available during that highest risk period, which they say is from November through to March. And it is a modest increase of one from last year's numbers, including in particular a new high capacity helicopter that's able to pick up seawater. But exactly how many aircraft are currently available to be deployed in the state right now is a bit less clear. We know that 15 were deployed last week in eastern Victoria to fight those fires, but the full 51 definitely aren't here yet. Emergency Management Victoria has said that one will be brought down from Queensland, one large air tanker as part of a national aircraft sharing arrangement, but that won't happen until Queensland's own fire season is downgraded. And we are seeing more protracted bushfire seasons in general, and in Queensland they can last through to February. So there's sort of a question mark over exactly when that'll be able to be brought down. We also have some aircraft that are still overseas. We've obviously seen some significant bad bushfire seasons over in North America and Europe as well. But EMV has again said that they've spoken to operators over there, and they've said that those will be available here in Victoria prior to them being needed.
Bridget, you mentioned the firefighters union was initially concerned about a lack of aircraft. Are they relieved by today's news?
Not exactly. I spoke to the chief of the firefighters union, Peter Marshall, about an hour ago, and he essentially called today's statement from Emergency Management Victoria damage control and spin. He says that, you know, those 51 aren't here now, so until they are available, until they're all on the ground in Victoria, he isn't totally calmed down, I guess, by today's statement. And he says, you know, he's worried that those interstate and overseas aircraft essentially are no help to Victorians if they're not actually here. And as I mentioned, they are important in the early intervention stage of fires, so they do need to be able to be deployed very rapidly. And he said also that in terms of the ones that are overseas, apparently it takes about 2 months to actually get them over here. They have to be disassembled, taken over and then reassembled here in Victoria. So he shared some concerns about that as well, and he basically urged the Victorian government to at least release the numbers of exactly how many are here currently available to be deployed in the state. But Minister Jacqueline Symes said in question time last week that she was confident that we'll have a full fleet available when we do need it in Victoria.